We going live? We're live. Hello, friends. Welcome to another day of the stream. Self-isolation. Together, you and me. Today we got Jon Perry from Stated Clearly. We're gonna talk about biology and maybe some other things. Welcome to the stream, everybody, and welcome, Jon. Thanks for, you're my first ever guest on this thing. Okay. Like first day you were on it, like when I was with the guitar? Nice. Do you just put it on while you do other things? Okay, hold on. I'm getting messages that they can't hear your voice. Oh shoot. Yeah, for some reason the sound source has switched on. I don't know how this has happened. Yeah, it switched over to, and now maybe people are hearing a repeat. What is occurring? Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was good. It was good a moment ago. Yeah. No, I can see that this is. I messed up. No. Yep. Yep. From yesterday's stream. Wait. How did this happen? Sorry, guys. This is technical difficulties. I think we. Yeah. You can you do the whole thing like this? Yeah, Jon, show us a series of skulls while I try to work out how to make people hear you. How about that? Oh, there's a... Shoot, how did this happen? They are correct. It's a bulldog. He says it's in fact... Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have people guess what kind of skull it is. And then and Jon will have to tell you if you're right, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this audio. Someone says that's a T-Rez. It's a wolf. Whoever guessed wolf, you got it. Okay, system sound. Oh, hold on. Does that help? No, maybe not. Jon, speak again. No, still nothing. Still nothing. We have immense technical difficulties. Oh, we got Chihuahua. Whoever guessed Chihuahua, you got it. Caitlin, congratulations. So, all right. So you're now what we're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to say things, and I'm gonna have to copy over to them. Like just repeat what you're saying. Man. Okay. So the wolf and the chihuahua are in fact the same species, which is crazy when you compare their skulls. John's voice is just. I think they can hear you in my headphones, possibly. That might be the only thing. Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna take a 10-minute hiatus on this. Yeah. How about we take a small hiatus and hopefully we can get it back up. I don't know. If I hit end stream, do you know if it's gonna if it's able for me to come back or does it immediately start? Uh, yeah. We could just redirect people. Yeah, that's true, but that's unfortunate. Hold on, maybe I'll just put it on like a. If I go over here, hmm, can you guys hear me here? Oh, device not available. That's not good. Okay, we're gonna keep it on there for a second. What's this scene? I'm just gonna try different things. Ah, no. All right, we'll be back in a moment, people. Okay. Let me see what I can do with this. Can you speak? Delete that. You can delete this. See what happens if we add it back in. Speak, John, speak. No, nothing's coming through, is it? Okay, yeah, you can hear me on the stream, but you can't hear you. Wait a second. I'm using XSplit. Talk again? The sound from Zoom? Let's see. Audio. Yeah, I don't even have an option to. But if I auto detect, does that work? Can you hear? Hmm. Okay, names don't matter says, okay, John, if you leave now, how long will it take to get to Tim's house? Unfortunately, social distancing and all, I don't think that's going to function. It wouldn't take too long. It would take like an hour. But yeah. Hey, now I've got two streams on at once. Does that help? Anyone hear the ukulele? Can anyone hear the ukulele? No? Okay, system sound. Default speakers. Apply. Does that work? Maybe I need to unplug it and plug it back in. Is John's microphone in Zoom unmuted? Yeah, I mean, I can hear him fine. He's coming in. What if we do... Yeah. Apply. Yeah, this is in fact, this is the joy of live stream. I don't know what to do, John. I might have to let you go for the day and continue the live stream alone. Continue on. You. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting an announcement from John. He says that if I am free at 7 p.m., we can do a live stream on his channel, and then we can do this conversation there. So, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna let John go, because this is very unfortunate. I'm very sorry, people, but luckily you have nothing else to do because you're all stuck at home. so you gotta listen to this. You're a captive audience, and we'll try to get this worked out for 7 tonight. Go over to Stated Clearly's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, like, I really hope that I mean, for those of you that are like in India or whatever, I'm sorry that's going to be the middle of the night, but it'll probably be logged somewhere, right? It'll be saved. Okay. All right. We'll try to make this work again, because I still want to have you on here at some point. Okay, cool. John says bye. All righty. So now I need to figure out how I can get you guys actually seeing me, because right now it says device not available. But I think we can get it working in short order. We just have to kill the meeting. End meeting. End meeting for all. And then presto like magic. Hey, looks like we're here. It is sad. Yeah. So we have to do a morning song for John's passing. From Stated Clearly, you had so much promise. You were gonna be my very best friend, but we couldn't make your sound work in the end. Oh, Perry, his name is Jon Perry. He did a real good thing for you. He made a video about the virus, and you should all watch it, it's true. What did he tell you about the origin of COVID? That's all that I know. Talking about Perry, Jon stated clearly. Wow, it was really good to be a friend. I still hope you will be here in the end. You're still alive, at least in our hearts. And we'll see you again when your own stream starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No longer daylight savings time, just regular time. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna talk about things. I don't know what he's planning. So here we are. I mean, I'm sorry for the mix up there. That's an unfortunate way to start a live stream. But hello, hello. We got a late start today, I guess, for all the most people who will tune in to see Jon. They're gonna click on the thumbnail. They're gonna be disappointed. But hopefully this is. It seems to me that whenever I try to announce something in the title of a video, like when it was the third day and I said going loopy, and then we couldn't do the looping. Today we're gonna do Jon and have him on stream, and never mind, didn't happen. Very unfortunate, but a good Anne said something interesting in the chat. She said it's good to see that you guys who we consider super smart actually also can't figure out technology. Yep, that is in fact accurate. Yeah, I don't know. Let's who we got here today in the chat. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what's going on with you while I set up a loop. Oh yeah. What should we do? Okay. Should we do a voice bass? Yeah. Okay, let's see who we got. We got Hawaii, we got Israel, we got India, we got Brazil in quarantine. Is Brazil in full quarantine now? Indiana, we got Norway. Greetings from Mo. What's Mo? Montana? Israel, Germany, India, SoCal. Here to bop. Talk while I study. Sweet. Today's my birthday. Names don't matter. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. It's not your standard birthday song. Argentina, Romania, Germany, Romania again. Oh, lots of Romanians here today. Greetings from Iowa. Be curious, what's that equation? I don't know. I don't have an equation. Oh, this equation. This is the equation of the standard model of particle physics. Hey, we can sing about that. Yeah. is a t-shirt with an equation. What kind of equation is that? It's the one that gets used by a lot of people at CERN. That's how you know that it's fat. It's got a lot of things that are confusing to you. So how about we break it down? As it's a very simple thing when you know what to do. And I will show you around. This is the standard model. It is the standard model. It shows you everything we know about where we come from and where we gonna go. You see, L is for Lagrangian. It tells you what the energy is. More actually, it says the action of the things that you see and how they go together. Optimized. Then you got F's. These two F's right here. They represent the electromagnetic forces. They got subscripts and superscripts, but that's just mathematical jargon. The important thing is that they make bosonic fields. They are imaginary in parts, in other parts they are real. Complexity. Then you got these things over here. That is a Dirac field. It has the matter parts. Once again, some imaginary, some real. Actually, if you look at fermions, which these are, they're even more complex. Cause they're based on quaternions, fermions are, and that make you vex. They're really hard to understand. This is the standard model. Sing about the standard model. Yeah, I gotta get some water. That's not all, that wouldn't be very fun. You gotta have things pair off one on one. They gotta interact, matter with energy. Don't you see, you and me need the sun and its heat, or we wouldn't live. Energy rolls around in take and give. And so these terms down here are the pairing of the two that you see on the top, going together to make energy things. And then down at the bottom, that is the greatest surprise. This was what made the world in 2012 at the LHC open its eyes. It gives the mass to all the particles, though not to big things like pigs. What a weird rhyme, why's he gonna do that? Cause it's a field we know by the damn old name of Higgs. Yeah, given matter, it's some of its mass. We're talking about the standard model. Yeah, talking about the standard model. My voice has gotta warm up a little more. I can tell there's a frog in my throat. See you, the Mamgoosian. Yeah. There's one more thing that you got to see. This equation is missing one thing in the total of the world's energy. There's another force and it pulls all around. Oh we don't. This is standard model. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see. Villager 255 says, well then now you gotta do another thing about general relativity to explain gravity. Shoot, do I? Maybe I do. That's unfortunate. Yeah, maybe we can get like a... Yeah. This feels more like a rap. The problem is that freestyling is actually pretty darn difficult. But maybe we can make it work. Oh. How far back should we go? Alright. So long ago, there was a guy named Aristotle, and he didn't know lots of things that we now know. He would have been maybe better stuck in a bottle, like that other guy from Greece who was in a wine keg. Maybe not. I heard he did a lot of philosophy. Yet you see, he was maybe good at that. But I don't know if he was great at the other stuff, the science stuff, natural philosophy. He said that the world was just a thing that natural earth elements they want to be, and they should go down and join the other earth. But that scientific theory had no worth. But we kept going on for a few more centuries. Then we came up and we started inventing chemistry and all of the other sciences, don't you know? We got to the Renaissance and the theory started to show. There was a man named Newton. He came home sick. Actually, he was always sick. That was kind of his trick. He went home to escape a very deadly plague, just like the one we have now. And then he sat in his bed and he invented a different type of math. It was fast, it was class, and you couldn't go back to the days when you only had finite space, and the human race was forever changed by Newton's face. But the other thing that he found was even more sick. He saw gravity, and he saw an interesting trick, that if you look at the moon and the apples on the trees, you can see that they take the same trajectories, just in different ways. See, the earth is a ball, and if you're far away, you follow Kepler's laws. But if you're close to it, then you just gotta fall like an apple off
geometry. That's how he started it all. And so he invented all the different types of physics, and the other people invented all sorts of widgets like Laplace and Hamilton. They got better at this. They made lots of new tricks to make the calculus stick. And then we got to a point that was kind of cray. It was the late 1800s, and Faraday found a different kind of field called the electric field, and he put some equations into it. What did they yield? They showed there was no difference if you're moving or not. And that's strange for other theories where that idea was shot down, cause we thought that there was a ether to go behind, and if you moved in it, you could always find which direction you were going, whether up or down, outside of town and around. But Faraday said no, it don't know which way I'm going to go. And they tried it out, and sure enough, Michelson and Moly confirmed that there is no special direction of space, even though Earth is flying all over the place. And Einstein looked at that, he said, whoa, that's sick. I can fix it with a little mathematical trick. I'll just put space in a thing called space-time, all combined. Then I'll rhyme them together in a line. 3 plus 1 all the time, inseparable but flat. And then he came back 10 years later and said, I don't like that. I think space should be curved. Would that be absurd? It would explain all the findings of that other nerd named Newton long ago, and explain why planets go all around all the time when they start to flow. Hear me flow. Yeah, if Einstein went into another space, all the place, and the whole human race again was thankful for his studies. And a guy named Lorentz made some mathematics for it all to go make sense. Getting tired of this rap, but I'm not done. I gotta tell you some things about the other one, the other theory of general relativity. That's what he called it. Don't you see? He said the curves can curve, oh, longer and longer, and be stronger and stronger, and go tighter and tighter, and have a white hole, black hole pair in space. You go in one side and you come out this place, maybe into another world. We're not quite sure. The geometry is confusing and the math is a bore, and it's hard to understand how to do equations. It takes very smart people from the smartest of nations, and they don't always get it right. Sometimes they fight, like that time that Einstein thought left from right was possible to distinguish, but now it's not. We know that there are other theories where that would be caught, and now that happens to be true in the standard model. And now that also is something that's quantum, and that's the problem with the current theory of geometry. It is classical, demanding that things should be in one place in space, and not in two or in a multiple all over space. That's new. We can't do that when you got space itself. Space at different points in space, man, go to hell. You don't have that kind of freedom in the math of equations. You gotta get back and step outside of your brain and think about how to do it. And there's two main choices, and now we've got two opposing voices. You got string theory saying, man, our stuff is great. We can explain where gravity comes from in this way. We got strings vibrating in many different forms, and one vibration is something like an electron, and another one might be a graviton. But blue quantum gravity says that's wrong, and they say you don't have any sense of how to prove your theory predicts 500 million universes, whereas ours, we take a simpler goal. We're just kinda saying how gravity takes its toll on the energy of the world. Just geometry, quantize it simply, and then you'll see that you can. King Gaming says your hands are like this. It's very true. I talk with my hands. We got. I don't know what we're talking about now. We're just freestyling. So that's the main two approaches. If you can think that there are other ones, then you are right. I think there is another one by Carroll that's gaining attraction. It looks at it as a thermodynamic reaction, like you've got entropy between points in space, and when you put a line between them, they go and face each other, cut off in separate walls of thought. They can't communicate with each other even though they ought to, and that means that they could have a force between them, and they could make space warp, of course, and maybe that with some other things we haven't found yet is how we'll finally crack gravity and quantum sets. Yeah. Woo. Woo. Word to Einstein. All right. Well, that was I think the most extended rap I've ever tried to do. See what we got going on in the comments. Let's see. It looks like there's some people talking about how everything's locked down tight. I think that's good. Ooh, that was a large burp going on right there. A large and formidable burp. Yeah. Oh no. Hold on a second. We have a definite problem. We have a laptop that's doing the streaming that we thought it was plugged in. It turns out it's not plugged in. So we're gonna take a moment and we're gonna plug that in. Crisis has been averted. Yes. Bam. All right. I didn't really plan a lot for today because I was planning on a totally different thing. I was planning on John coming in and we could take over the whole conversation with that. So I'm gonna need your help for a little bit. So either here you can ask me questions either here, or you can ask me questions on the Discord, which there should be once again a link to down there. If you're new here today, we have a Discord now, and you can go sign up by clicking the link down there, and that'll give you access to me outside of this 2-hour window every day. I lurk around there sometimes. I answer things that I find interesting, and we'll probably check in on that to see what people have been asking me, or if people have been talking about anything interesting, I can bring that up. Let's see, Villager 255. That sounds like not your real name. This is really fun. So much stuff becomes more interesting when you sing about it instead of hearing it in lectures. That's the general conceit of this channel, yeah. Be Curious says, what's your view on many worlds? Okay, so depending on, I don't know, if you're not aware of the current battle in quantum mechanics, there are a bunch of different schools of thought. Should I try to make this? I'm not going to make this song. The Discord link says it's expired. What? That's dumb. Well, someone who's in the Discord, can people who are in the Discord invite other people to the Discord? I think they can. I think everyone has that power. So if anyone from the Discord wants to post it in the chat, like a proper invite link that works, go ahead. Otherwise, I think the stream from yesterday has a perennial link, but I thought the link that I put today was a perennial link. I'm sad. Okay. Well, ask questions in the chat. I'll try to fix it up. So my opinion on many worlds is
that it's weirdly one of the most reasonable explanations of quantum mechanics. So here's the problem with quantum mechanics is that you've got this thing called a wave function, which is this amorphous structure. It's really a vector in a vector space, but it's like if you're talking about a particular measurement that you could make, the wave function says before you measure the thing, there's not one value that it could take. It's spread over sort of a constant array of possible values. And okay, Villager says, yep, the link from yesterday works. Cool. So a little bit of finagling, but you can get there. So the problem is that, like, so for example, the simplest explanation of this is when there's just two possibilities where, like, say, I don't know, I don't like using the example of Schrodinger's cat, but let's just say you have a little particle, and in quantum mechanics, it doesn't have to be in one location. It can be here or it can be here. It could be anywhere, but say it's confined to just two locations. Like usually it's a spread out, like even distribution over all of space in some sort of probability density function, but we could simplify it. Just make it two spots. But when you observe it, you see it either in one spot or in the other spot. And so the way that classically, like the Copenhagen version of quantum mechanics has handled that is to say, when you look at it, it becomes there. Instead of, like, we know that it was definitely in those two spots because it being in both of those spots, it could actually like interact with itself in weird ways and produce interference patterns. And like, we definitely know that it was definitely not in this spot all the time. But when you look at it, it becomes in that spot. And that's sort of been a thing, like, we know that's true, that when we look at it, we see it in that spot. And the question is, what do you do with that? Because it seems to put, like, your consciousness in a weird pride of place. And if you're going to talk about, like, whenever you measure something, then so the term for this is wave function collapse. And if you're going to talk about measurements causing wave function collapse, you end up with a ton of philosophical questions about, like, what's a measurement? Does it have to be by a conscious person? Could a cat do it? Could a machine do it? Could an air molecule do it, right? If it bumps into the thing, does that collapse it? Or does the air molecule become entangled between two different, like the air molecule is now in two different places at the same time? And it's kind of a mess. And that's not science, right? That's not the way you want to do science, by having all of these, like, messy categories like measurement. And so people have tried to codify this. And there's been one solution that's fairly successful, which is that actually the thing, when you look at that thing, it does not, in fact, magically become in one place instead of another place. It doesn't stop being in both places at once. What happens is that you look at it, and your system of measurement, your eyes, which are linked to your brain, which are linked to your body, and everything is connected, becomes a part of that quantum system, which is in fact bifurcated into some part of it over here and some part of it over here. So you look over here, you will now bifurcate along with the thing into a person who viewed the particle here and a person who didn't view the particle here. So now, instead of the particle being two places at once, you are in two states at once. And the math works out such that those states of you would never interact. You, as a person going along your life, if you find yourself as one of these people or the other, would never be able to tell that you yourself had split into two things. You would go along your merry way, and you would describe quantum mechanics the way that everyone describes quantum mechanics. So you can basically, and everyone agrees that this happens whenever something happens that isn't, like, however you want to classify measurement. However, this is, like, whenever something like that happens. Like, if you don't think an air molecule bumping into the electron is a measurement, then when you talk about the mathematics of how it's actually going to work, you talk about the air molecule becoming entangled and going into two different states at once. And so it seems like there's no, like, it's just sort of a human bias that we don't want to think of ourselves as splitting, that forces us to put this additional rule of collapse to conform with our own observations that could in fact be explained just as well by throwing out the extra rule and keeping the one rule about how everything entangles with everything else. So that's that's what generates the many worlds hypothesis. Like when people talk about the many worlds hypothesis, often they think that physicists are adding a bunch of rules or like adding a bunch of extra universes, to try and sneak their way out of the spooky versions of quantum mechanics. That's not really what's happening. They're throwing out half the rules and showing that you can keep all of the same observations with half the rules. But the caveat is that you're going to get split in an innumerable number of ways without you ever knowing about it. So that's the one way you can go. The other way you can go, which I find semi-plausible, is a thing called cubism. It's capital Q, capital B-ism, which used to stand for quantum Bayesianism, but now stands for quantum betability. I don't know. They've got a bunch of different things they've decided the Q's and the B's stand for. And they go in the exact opposite direction, pretty much, where they say, yes, we grant that if the electron, if your particle could be in two places at once, then you could also inevitably end up in two places at once. So we're going to go back to the basics and deny that ever happens. Electrons are never in two places at once. Nothing is ever actually in a spread of possible states. In fact, nothing, but their trade-off to make that work is that actually nothing is ever in a determinate state. Like the state of everything is never purely determined. And it's kind of like, in their view, the universe is kind of in this constant act of self-creation where actually like new information is being generated constantly. So that's how they get around the like the information problems that come with a lot of kind of tricks trying to fool with the hard realities of quantum mechanics. So it's an interesting question because like those seem like the two extremes, and to me they seem like the two reasonable extremes. Like you've either got to go all the way with like denying that these distributions and simultaneous like existences in multiple places are ever a thing. Like you've got to apply that to nothing and figure out a way around it, or you've got to apply it to everything. And so cubism is denying that it ever happens. Many worlds is saying that there's nothing special and it happens to everything. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I have a little thought about information. Was that understandable to you? I don't know if I was ranting too much. Does many worlds mean that in one universe I'm watching this video and the other I don't, and in other you're not only stream? I don't know. Like, many worlds doesn't mean that everything, well, it doesn't really mean that everything that could happen will happen. But it does kind of mean that, because there are some theories in quantum mechanics, like, or there are some theorems in quantum mechanics, like, there's one theorem about the vacuum state of the universe, or yeah, the state of the vacuum. The vacuum in quantum mechanics is not emptiness. It's actually a bunch of different fields overlapped in each other, all at their lowest energy states, but they're still like roiling around and doing all sorts of messy quantum things. And there's a theorem that's affectionately called the Taj Mahal theorem, which states that there is actually a small probability, or like within that vacuum, there is a small part of it where the Taj Mahal has just appeared on the moon, which is to say there's a small part within the overall vacuum state where pretty much everything that possibly could be happening is happening. So I don't know, if you buy many worlds and you also buy sort of ideas about infinite divisibility of quantum mechanics, like you imagine that probability space has no finest grain that you can't split apart, so you actually have infinite universes instead of just many universes, then it would be true that pretty much everything that could happen is happening. I mean, it's kind of also true. David Deutsch makes this point. It's even true if you only have one universe, as long as your universe is infinite in size. that just you do the math on a literally infinite universe, everything that could happen in a finite region of space is going to happen in some finite region of that universe. So even if you don't have many worlds, if space is infinite, there's an infinite number of yous all watching this video with slightly different variations. Could be. No one really knows. Because it could be we don't know how large the universe is. Hank Green says there's no edge. And he's right, though we don't know what the edge is. And probably that there's no edge. But it's sort of unclear whether it loops back around. The Earth has no edge, but it's finite. And the universe could be a big ball like that, except it would be a three-dimensional ball. Unlike the Earth, which is a two-dimensional ball, two-dimensional sphere over a three-dimensional ball. What was I talking about? Streaming is hard, guys. Streaming is difficult. Every decision made. No, it's not. Cyrus. So this is another common misconception about many worlds, that it's decisions. He asks if every decision made splits the universe in two. It has nothing to do with decisions. It's unlikely that decisions are a quantum event. Like, it's possible, and it is true that, you know, it with the Taj Mahal theorem, like, you know, you will make every possible decision in some branch of the universal wave function, but there's nothing special about decisions. Like, a molecule of air hitting another molecule of air is just as much of a quantum event as you making a decision in your brain. There's nothing about that splits the universe, particularly interestingly. But if you do want to go to, if you do want your decisions to split the universe, you can get an app on your phone, which is called, let's see, I'm going to make sure I get this right, Universes. It's got a little, let's see if we can get that there. It's the first one there, all right, on the top right. And what it'll do is it'll send a message off to Geneva, where there is a little beam splitter there. They'll send a single photon at a half-silvered mirror, and it will split its quantum wave function into one part going left and one part going right. And then it will send a message back to you about whether it went left or right. And since that's a quantum event, you will now be entangled with that photon. And if you make a decision based on whether it went left or right, which the app helpfully lets you do, it lets you type in possibility 1, do this, possibility 2, do this, then according to many worlds, you will have split the universe, and then you will be able to be confident that one half of your total probability mass went and did one direction, did one thing, one decision, and one half of you went and made the other decision. So it's a good thing to try. I've done it a few times. I kind of got scared to do it after a while, because I don't know. I don't like even though it's happening all the time, I don't like the idea of doing it intentionally. Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Thoughts on Ramanujan's, Ramanujan, I think is how you pronounce that, Ramanujan's equation. I don't know what that equation is. Oh, and more about the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is silly. The Mandela effect is a psychological effect where people all remember the same thing slightly differently in the past, probably because it was easier to remember that way. There was something about it that made that minor detail stick in people's brains as consistently wrong through a quirk of human psychology. And then rather than admitting that they remembered it wrong, people attribute it to the universe having split and them having fallen into a slightly different reality where in fact they were right all along that, I don't know, the Berenstain Bears was spelt with an E instead of an A. Yeah, Captain Disillusion does a pretty good takedown, and also a pretty good like analysis of like the psychology that goes into the Mandela effect, and why it keeps cropping up, like why it seems it seems to be something that resonates with people. It's also true that the main proponent of the Mandela effect is a alternative medicine person who mostly wants to sell you products on her website. So maybe take that with a grain of salt. Do you guys have any examples of like things like that you're like, man, oh man, I thought that was like, everyone remembers this is one way, but in fact it was the other way. Like the classic ones are like Pikachu's tail, how you spell Berenstain Bears. I think Kit Kat, like whether it has whether it has like a hyphen in between it. The reason it's called the Mandela effect is that apparently a whole bunch of people thought that Nelson Mandela was still in prison, or was it that I can't remember what it was. I think it was that he was still in prison, when in fact he was let out of prison in like the early 90s, I think. Became a great South African political leader. Ashley says Pikachu's tail differs based on gender. Ooh, I would like to see that confirmed. People thought they saw his funeral on TV. Okay. Oh, they thought he died in prison. Do I believe in string theory personally? I don't think so. I don't think we've got. I think we've got a good handle on the possibilities of we have a few theories of quantum gravity, but I expect there are like hundreds. And I also suspect that they're almost entirely impossible to distinguish from each other. So here's the problem with figuring out quantum gravity. It is a general problem that also applies to the Standard Model, this thing that's on my t-shirt, and quantum field theory in generally. And it is the problem that all of these theories that we've found, which are called field theories, they're theories where the main objects in the equations are fields, so that they're things that are distributed throughout space and they act the same at every point, and there's some way that they wave, right? And that applies to in general relativity. Space-time is the field, and in the Standard Model, it's various matter and force fields. The electromagnetic field, the electron field, neutrino fields, quark fields, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The Higgs field. The problem is that the way that we do all of these theories, we assume certain properties of the fields, properties called renormalizability, which is basically that as you zoom in on the theory closer and closer, it stays nicely behaved. So you can zoom in tighter and tighter, and nothing blows up. You don't get any crazy infinities in your equations. And it turns out that condition, that as you zoom in on everything, it's nicely behaved and nothing blows up, is the same condition as the one that states that the theory you're looking at is the very high, the very long, like large scale limit of some arbitrary theory that doesn't have that possibility. So you imagine there's some like fundamental theory of the world, and it's like way down at these insanely small scales, like the Planck scale, which is like 10 to the negative 36 meters. And whatever that crazy theory is, if you zoomed out and out and out and out and out, to the point where there's no way you can tell what is going on down there, what you should be left with generically are exactly the theories that we see. They're the quantum field theories with renormalizability conditions that behave like this. And if you do the same for gravity, you find that the theory that survives when you zoom super far out of an arbitrary theory is Einstein's theory of general relativity, which means that there could be anything going on down there. Like there could be tiny little gnomes hammering away with hammers, carrying home jewels to their gnome friends in a complex economy. And if you zoomed out of that enough and there were enough gnomes, what you would wind up with is our theories of particle physics and general relativity. So it's really hard to say anything accurate about the fundamental nature of reality. And frankly, I don't know if we're ever going to do it. I mean, I would love us to. Cyrus Gomes, whose name is close to gnomes, gives some faces. Please don't screen capture that. I think we should do a song. I did this on the first day. Someone was asking for it in past days, and I didn't do it. And I saw it in the comments again, and I wanted to, just in case any of you still have this problem in your life, I thought I would actually do it. So let's see if we can get this going. After I belch, let's go. Yeah. Cool, let's do it. Let's do it again. See if we got something
I stayed up too late, making memory aids. I haven't slept in days. Haven't slept in days. It's been weeks I haven't shaved, and I got no time to bathe. But I'm gonna get an A. I'm gonna get an A. Man, this is grueling. Can't stop shovel fooling. Should have tried homeschooling. But my mom tell me it's gonna be alright. 'Cause the grader's gonna grade. Slaver's gonna slave. I'm just gonna take exams. Hey, trainer's gonna train. Brain is gonna strain. I'm just gonna take exams. I 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 take exams. Got papers to complete, and things are looking bleak. Things are looking bleak. I'm glancing at my notes, but I can't make out my pros. I don't know what I don't know. Don't know what I don't know. Man, this is too hard. Forget these tiny cue cards. Pass that box of pure carbs. Stuff my face, tell me it's gonna be alright. My eraser won't erase. Straight edges and straight. I hate having to take exams. Invigilator's gonna wait. Slackers show up late. I'm just gonna take exams. I 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 take exams.
Oh, did I kill it? I think I killed it. I think I just killed the only source of beat. We gotta bring that back. There we go. My exam's got another question, but there's no time left, and I'm just gonna skip it. To the fella over there with the hella squeaky chair, quit your fidgeting, it's more than I can take. Invigilator's gonna wait. Slackers show up late. I'm just gonna take exams. Then my grade may not be great. Finally escape. Then I gotta take exams. I 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 take exams. Can I get a guitar solo?
exams, I take 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 exams, sing along, I take exams, 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 whoa, whoa. So what should we do now? I don't know. Should we do another rap? Should we do an improv? I got your husband dancing by a file. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. That solo was fire. Fire. Thank you. For those who don't know, I recovered from COVID-19 1 week ago. In gaming, congratulations. You're the first person on the stream who I know who's had it. Did you get tested? Oh, yeah. Oh, we could actually do it. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Feel vibrations. Feel vibrations. Feel vibrations. Feel vibrations. Feel vibrations. Feel vibrations. I'm thinking about field vibrations, particles of field excitations. You're made out of field vibrations. Everyone is field excitations. I'm thinking about field vibrations, particles of field excitations. You're made out of field vibrations. Everyone is field excitations. I'm thinking about field vibrations, particles of field excitations. You're made out of field vibrations. Everyone is field excitations. I'm thinking about field vibrations, particles of field excitations. You're made out of field vibrations. Everyone is field excitations. I'm thinking about field vibrations, particles of field excitations. You're made out of field vibrations. Everyone is field excitations. I'm thinking about field vibrations, particles of field excitations. Field vibrations. Woo! Oh yeah. There's another small preview for me, for you, sorry,
of the next video that's going to be coming out, which is in fact Field Vibrations. So you heard it here first, folks. A small part of the chorus, mashed up in real time with, that was Take Exams from Acapella Science 2, because Tim didn't make it acapella and put it on the second channel. Let's see what we got. I would like to do... it would be nice to do a song about the immunocompromised and B cells, but I'd need to do more research. Mark Wani says, I was feeling pretty miserable. Only seen one other real human for 10 days. This is great. I'm glad that this is your first time on the stream? Sweet. We do this pretty much every day. So if you don't see it, it's a rarity. And if you don't see it, you should join the Discord and we can keep having conversations there. But usually it'll be here from 3 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, unless it's, I don't know, I might take Sundays off. I took this Sunday off. It was honestly nice, and it gave me some time to like spend the time retooling things and get this better. Why is no one on the Discord voice? I don't know how to work the Discord voice. I don't know if I've got it enabled. I've been terrified of trying to use it myself. So yeah, let's see. Any acapella tips? What if I don't like my voice? Well, if you don't like your voice, it would be, you kind of have to like take at least a bit of voice training, or at least go like watch some voice training YouTube videos, to see if it's your voice you don't like, or whether you just don't know how to place your voice properly, or whether you like it depends what you're struggling with. If you're struggling with pitch, then you have to do like ear training and like pitch matching and just a whole lot of practice. There's some fairly good like vocal, I don't know, some like vocal trainer people on YouTube, and particularly if you like, one thing that I struggled with was that I felt like my voice was way back here. It was kind of boomy, like especially when I hit high notes, it was like back there, and I didn't like it. And I couldn't figure out what it was with people who were trained that they had this like clear crispness in their voice. And I found out that it's a thing that's called vocal ping or vocal twang. And so if that's your particular problem, you should look up, just go on YouTube and type in vocal ping, vocal twang, and see what comes up. And because it's that like placement where like too much of it and you end up sounding like a cartoon character. Like way up here, like, yeah, the sun will come out tomorrow. But if you do it, like, if you're too far back naturally, then like learning how to do that just a little bit can make it like a lot more, like the upper harmonics are a lot more resonant. But I'm not super trained. But if you want acapella resources, go to Deke Sharon's website, or YouTube channel. He has a series called Too Many Notes, and he goes through all sorts of different aspects of acapella. So that would be more what I would recommend. Deke Sharon was he's one of the founding members of what was the name of their band? I'm blanking on the name of their band. But it was Total Vocal? No. But it was like the band that basically started modern acapella. And he's kind of a godfather figure of all modern acapella. So he really knows what he's talking about. So don't I don't know, maybe I can do something more in depth, but for now, yeah, trust the experts. This is the thing I love about YouTube. I can just like send people to another place on the same website. It's like an all-in-one platform for if you want to learn anything, there's an expert in that particular thing. That's pretty cool. When's Field Vibrations coming out? It's coming out when I get the animations done, which might be a little while. I don't know. The animations are a struggle. By Saptarshi says it's 1:50 a.m. in India. So I understand. You can. I do not fault you for leaving the stream. In fact, I don't fault anyone for leaving this stream. The stream will be here, regardless of what you wish to say. Yeah. King Gaming says, Tim, please say my name. You've been saying this for a while, King Gaming. So if I indulge you, I presume you'll be satisfied. Your name, George Kavejian. There you go. George Kavejian. Persistence. I probably shouldn't encourage people saying the same question over and over. But King Gaming, you've been really good to me. You've been here like through every stream, like beginning to end. You've been a really, really solid supporter, and you've asked me lots of good questions. So there you go. I've now said your name, but I might continue to call you King Gaming because it's easier. Yeah, but like my are there any proofs of superposition except the indirect one of the double slit experiment? Yeah, there's tons of proofs of superposition. Like it's so much of quantum mechanics relies on it. Pretty much every quantum mechanics experiment and everything that people do with quantum computers relies on superposition. So it's pretty hard to fish out. It's like you can argue that superposition has never been directly observed, but it's sort of like saying that I've never seen an atom with my naked eye, so I don't believe it exists. Like, oh no, I can only see it with this electron microscope that sees it or sees the consequences of it. Yeah. Dude, please sing something. I love it when you sing. I've been singing, Sushant. I don't know. I like to take a break sometimes from the singing and just, just chill with people. Just, I don't know. Why can't we just have a chill vibe? Oh. We could do like a chill hop, sort of like. Let's see if we can make that work. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna sing a chill song. Yeah. ASMR coming at you right now. Listen to that vocal fry. Yeah. What is the coldest that a thing can be? What is the coldest thing in the galaxy?
Is it space? Is it made by the human race? Super nitrogen when it's in its form. A liquid might be colder than most other things, but it's not the coldest thing around. No, no. We got liquid helium at 4 degrees. That's Kelvin if you didn't know what I mean. That's pretty cold, but dwarfed by the CMB, which is the temperature of space out in the sky. That is the coldest thing in nature, except for colder spots and maybe black holes. Black holes are colder than most other things. The supermassive ones are billionths of a Kelvin degree. Can we get colder? Possibly. In the lab, the coldest that we ever did see is way below 1 degree or a tenth of a degree. I don't remember what it is. Can you look it up for me? But it's micro or nano or femto, okay. And that's cold enough, you're gonna freeze today by contact with anything so very close to that's 0. That's as far down as this temperature goes. There are negative temperatures below 0, but you don't wanna go there unless you know that in fact it is whack. It's not colder than before. It is higher temperature than the highest that you know. Oh, so what is cold and what is hot? I'll tell you what I know, but that is all that I got. I think the vacuum may be shielded from outer space. As cold as you can get, it is the coldest place. Then you can put little tricks into it as well. Take 2 metal plates on each other's side and get them into a close proximity. You'll reduce the frequencies of the vacuum that can vibrate energy. You can actually make the vacuum colder than cold. It's called the Casimir effect. You don't have to be told. If you study quantum field theory, you'll know that it's true. So maybe that's the closest we can get to you. The coldest place you can have. Oh, 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 oh. It's the coldest place you can never have. Yeah. Bring the singer in. Go. Yeah.
jazzy, or what other things are chill? What other directions could we take this?
Here's what happens if you go down the scale of temperature where electrons move so well. You can get them paired up in quantum pairs, and they can travel together without any resistance. That's what we call superconduction. That's how many of our accelerators function. Also, our supercomputers too. And quantum computers, they all got to do. When that started, we needed liquid HE to get to 4 Kelvin before we could see a difference in the conductivity. But now we got cuprates and we don't have to be down there. And liquid nitrogen is fine if we get to minus 78 or 9, we're good. Every day they come up a bit, and we're hoping that one day we will hit the magic temperature. That magic temperature, what is that? Oh, I'm talking room temperature. Oh, baby, even hotter temperatures, yeah. Build up until you are boiling hot, not steaming cold. That's what we're sold. We'll see if we can get there by 2030 or 40 or 50, or if this virus is key to wiping out our capacity for economy. I don't know, but I guess someday we will see. Ooh, look at me off the dome like I be. We got a bit more time in the YouTube stream. Give me a question and I'll answer. I got to be everything the algorithm wants of me. That means play until I get sweaty and I'm tired. Gotta go lay down and rest for hours. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. What is my favorite parody? Says bass clef dragons on the YouTube stream. My favorite parody would be the CRISPR one, 'cause I really like how the music things were done. I think if I were to redo it now, I could make the animation pop more somehow. I was still learning, this is a process, and every time I get through one, it's another test of my creative mind. Oh, that's all that I can find. What are you currently working on, research/education wise? I'm trying to figure out fields of any size, so I can put them in the field of vibrations song. Yeah, I don't wanna get it wrong. No.
And then it stopped, and that was the end of the chill hop. Now I'm gonna be spontaneously speaking in rhymes for the next entire part of the stream, just because that's like once your brain gets into that cycle of like rhyming, you it's kind of hard to stop. I think rhyming, and then I think timing and sublime and adenine and all manner of other things. Yeah, let's go to the Discord. The Discord hasn't received any love yet on this chat, so I know y'all are asking questions over here, but we gotta give those Discorders some love. I'm looking here at the questions for Tim tab, and there it's popping off. It looks like we got some new things. Let's see. Just out of okay, Norenzito 990 says, just out of curiosity, from where I'm from, we usually use honorifics to address older people. So things like kun and chan, and I'm not sure if you're Japanese or what language you're from, but yeah, in some languages you use honorifics at the end of people's names. Would you be okay being called something like Kuya, big brother, Tim, or none at all? Yeah, I don't know. You can call me Kuya if you want. Call me whatever you like. Question: how did you do the trumpet voice in the Take Exams song? You mean like in real life? This is from Raphael. In like the version of it that's on YouTube, it's not a voice. That's why it's on Acapella Science 2. Acapella Science 2 is maybe a little bit of a misnomer because I don't know if I've put any things on there that are actually acapella. I've put a couple, but mostly Acapella Science 2 is for stuff that I wanted to do. I didn't want to take the time to make it acapella. John Nathan Chopper says Kuya is Tagalog. Okay, cool. Yeah, so on that like that one isn't acapella at all. It's just like the beats are samples, and the is an actual trumpet sample. Like I just, same with the and then when I do it, if you're talking about when I do it live, I don't really try to do a trumpet there either. At least I haven't been when I do it live looping. I just and that's good enough. But I could try doing like a it's harder to get the pitch right when you do that, because it really constricts your airflow. It's a lot harder to get pitch exactly right when you have so much little. Let's see. Prince and Sparkle asks, which death of the universe theory do you think is right? I'm kind of hoping I'm hoping that the universe ends by them ending the simulation. And I'm also hoping that if the universe is a simulation and they end it, that they'll find it worthy to clone our human minds, and then we can live happily forever after. But I don't really count on that. I think that probably what's going to happen is that we will have, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if our universe becomes digital eventually, or like some sort of simulation that we like, I don't know, maybe we'll travel outward to other stars, but I think what seems to be happening is that we're going more and more virtual, and once we get to the point where we can actually simulate neural circuitry and brain function, I think we're going to, I don't know, I think we're going to get lost in digital worlds, and that will probably become more reality and a more interesting reality to us than actual reality, because we can heighten it in any number of ways we want to. And probably we will spend the rest of our existences there, and then it won't really matter to us what's happening in the outside universe. Otherwise, it's looking like heat death. It's looking like the universe is going to keep expanding. Everything's going to keep getting further apart, and eventually all the matter will collapse into black holes, and then all the black holes will radiate then into a fine stream of particles over 10 to the 100 years, and then there will just be, basically absolute zero vacuum everywhere. That seems to be the direction it's going, but, we've only been studying this for 100 years, and 50 years later, we thought there was going to be 50 years ago, we thought there was going to be a big crunch. And before that, people were arguing about, whether it was steady state or whether something else was going on. There could be the big rip seems unlikely. Big rip is where the universe keeps accelerating faster and faster to the point where space is being pulled apart first faster than galaxies can hold it together. So galaxies separate, and then solar systems separate, and then atoms and planets and atoms and people all get pulled apart by the expansion of space. Bye, Enchanted Wild. All right, I'm going. Goodbye. So that's a possibility, but I'm thinking the preponderance of evidence right now is on just constant rate of expansion. Everything winds down, heat death. It might be possible that once you reach that state, new universes are birthed out of your steady state of nothingness. Sean Carroll has this idea about the Big Bang being birthed by a sort of a mother universe that's in a steady state where there's no backwards and forwards in time anymore, because everything's gone to kind of just, there's no entropy direction anymore. So maybe the end of the universe will be the birth of hundreds of millions of other universes, which would be a nice thought. Or maybe a super intelligent artificial intelligence will learn to control all this. Let's see. Do you have a website? acapellascience.com is under construction still. It does exist, but only as a Squarespace. So right now, if you go there, it just says this website is under construction, and it hasn't been a real priority to me because I'm not super. I don't know. I'm in so many different places online right now that I feel like a website would only really be for legitimacy, and I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in legitimacy, so I'll get there eventually. Maybe I'll ask Jon about his thoughts, because he has a website and he has all this stuff there, and I think it's probably good for for sustainability. You always have a home no matter what else happens. If you get locked out of YouTube or something, you can always direct people to your website. You're not beholden to anyone. Yeah. A. Bowser is asking, what's the average airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? And my answer to that is that so many people asked me that question before I watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail that by the time I watched it, it was no longer funny. Sorry, that felt kind of mean. And that is that all the questions? So JJ10001 says, More Than Words remake on how speaking works. Unfortunately, JJ10001, or fortunately, depending on how you want to put it, I already did a More Than Words remake. So I feel like that pond is fished out. But now I did it on the guitar, I think the first day, but maybe we could do More Than Birds again. Maybe More Than Birds would be worth doing. Tell me in the chat if More Than Birds. Oh yeah. Durva says no. Durva, you okay? What has hardened your heart, Durva? Jack the War Turtle is saying birds aren't real. Depends what you mean by real. Government surveillance drones are real. I'll accept your birds aren't real theories. But someone in the Discord tried to peddle the idea that if birds are in fact government surveillance drones, they recharge by standing on power lines, and that I won't abide, because standing on power lines would not create a voltage differential between the two legs of the bird, which gives it no physical mechanism for powering itself, for recharging. It's just bad physics. Sorry, Catherine. I don't mean to freak you out. Should we have a backbeat? Let's do a little backbeat. Is that a little loud? Maybe.
Pigeons and doves coo, they're not two birds, but one from a deeper view, with life that always holds true. One descent, but if you only knew how clearly gulls and geese have had their roots revealed more than birds. The fossils have the clues to make it real. By the mid-Jurassic, they had warm bodies and hollow, airy bones. What would you do if raptors grew wings and flew more than birds? The stones reveal Archaeopteryx is real. What would you say if I told you birds convey more than eggs and tasty stew? They're a strain of dino too. La-da-da-da-dee-doo, ba-dum, da-dum, more than birds. How could life give rise to cockatoos from such a monstrous clan? Selection pressure substitutes their jumps for glides to powered flight intents, adapting. Old T-Rexes, feathers and wishbones, more than birds. By oviraptors breeding can be shown, 'cause like birds they lay their eggs sequentially and side on
right. There's philosophical things going on. There's people say Manwith says man with long last name. Okay. I love how people are having weird philosophical discussion through this concert. Are you? That's cool. Go for it. Have as long as it's weird and lovely and accepting of each other philosophical discussion. Don't make me bring the mods in. But I like the people are communicating. Once again, if you want to communicate more, Discord server in there. Yeah. King Gaming, I'm glad you're over your illness. And I'm glad that you're being responsible. Not just, of like going out and like not going out because you, yeah. I'm not sure if I know what you're saying. Yeah, we're about to wrap this up, I think. This is gonna be the last few minutes of this particular stream. Giant chickets, universe theory, and other things. That should be our tagline. Thanks, Speaker Rocket. MD Fardula Khan says, sometimes it amazes me how dinos ate mammalian ancestors, but now mammals eat their descendants. How the turntables. Yep, that's true. I mean, the tables haven't entirely turned. You could still get disemboweled by a cassowary. So there's that. But yeah, for the most part. And also birds still eat plenty of little, look at a hawk or an eagle still eating plenty of mammals. Things are not as easily cut and dried, I don't think. Should we do one final jam? We could do, oh man, I really liked the thing we were doing last time with the Sing About Science. I feel like that could almost be a theme song. Should we recreate that? Yeah. Nope. That's not good. Let's do that again.
Singing of science all over again. Let's sing about science. We're gonna sing about science. Oh yeah, we're gonna sing about science. We're gonna sing it. We're gonna sing about science. We're gonna sing about. You come back every day. Durva Vaidya and man with long last name. Oh, what are the people and Night Caller here? We got K. Rose Grow and King Gaming here, yeah. Spacecraft with dragons and Shreya. K-Room, oh, you already did that one. Active Time and Anna. Yeah. Let's all sing about science. That was a lame way to end it. We're gonna sing about science. We're gonna sing about science. We're gonna sing about science. Every time you come and sing about science. Yeah. We're gonna sing about science. We're gonna sing about science. We're gonna sing about science. Yeah. We're gonna sing about. If you can, give this video a like. Share it with your friends if you think it's alright. Sign up in the Discord and keep the chat going. Look at me, I'm here every day just flowing. I don't know how to do all the YouTube things. I'm not good at being Mr. Beast. But if I give it a try and give it some time, I think we can make a community online. Let's sing about science. We're gonna sing about spam. Alright. Spam so I can shout you out before we end. Let's see, who else we got? Tapska, King Gaming, Dorfa Valdia, Sherman Dorn, Janet, Basterman, Lori Svensson, Villager 255, M Lyrical, characters I can't pronounce, I'm very sorry. Spam, Mr. Fardula Khan, yeah, MD Fardula Khan, sorry about that. Yeah, Leslie Young, Leslie, thanks for being around here. Jack the War Turtle, Shreya, Durva A. Bowser, Chai no Hoshi, Base Stuff Dragons, King Gaming, Rewamiko, Ralph B. Yeah. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Vesna, hey. Silverifications. Oh, Anna Sherpka. Daniel Elyson. The Memgusian. Science, we're all gonna sing about science. Yes, I wish I could pronounce your Hebrew letters. I think they're Hebrew characters. I don't know how to read them. We're gonna sing about science. We're gonna sing about catch me on the other stream later tonight, 7 p.m. That's in 2 hours. Whatever time period it is, right where you are. If you're still awake in 2 hours, go over to Stage Clearly's channel. We're gonna actually do the thing we were gonna do here, but we couldn't because my streaming software is stupid. So yeah, do that. Until then, science. We're gonna sing about 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 science. We're gonna sing